Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the conversation. My name is Michael Barnett, your host, and today I am joined by the legend, Thuan Nguyen, CEO and founder of Loan Factory. So I have actually been chasing down Thuan for about 5 or 6 months to do this podcast. He's a busy guy. He operates an amazing company. And I really thought today was a great opportunity, especially where we are in the markets, the economy, the job force, etc., just to share the story of someone who has built an amazing business at Loan Factory, someone who's built a respectable business, a profitable business, and it wasn't easy. And I want to share the story of perseverance, because anyone out there can succeed with the amount of effort, right? With a lot of effort, with planning, with strategy, and adopting a mindset of, I do not give up and I will not quit and I will not be held down. Thuan Nguyen embodies that story. So I thought it made a lot of sense to have you, Thuan, on the podcast today to share your story that I believe would inspire and motivate so many people who think that they just can't do it. So welcome to the podcast.
Thank you, Michael, for giving me this opportunity. I would love to share my story, and I love to help others who are listening to the podcast so that they can improve.
Perfect. And again, thank you so much for being here. Okay, so before we agreed to do the podcast, I did a lot of research on you personally, like I do with all my guests. I want to really try to learn as much as I can about like who you are, what you do, what's powered you, what's motivated you, and how you got to where you are today. And one of the things that first I learned through research, and then I learned more later through our earlier conversations, is that you're a Vietnamese refugee and you fled the country at an early age. I think you were 14 years old. Is that right?
Yes.
All right. You fled the country at an early age, looking for something better in your life. Would you mind just kind of sharing just a little bit about what was going on there, the experience, and kind of what led you leave the country and flee to America?
Yeah, back then, Vietnam was under the communist government. And, with the communist government, with the embargo, trade embargo, the country become very poor. There's not much opportunity in there. People are poor. So people are trying to find a better opportunity, better future in other country. And everyone, even right now, everyone thinking about America, right? So we escaped Vietnam. And back then, escaping the country is a crime. You go to jail if they caught you. So they want to stop people from moving out of the country because everyone want to move out. So I was at 14. I got caught. They put me in jail. Yeah, that is the story. And then I tried like 6 times total, and I failed all. At the end, I have to wait for my father, who came here before me, to officially bring me here. Yeah. Wow.
You tried 6 times.
Yeah.
I think most people would have that tells the story of perseverance. So a lot of people would have I'm sure people who just
you have to
gave
keep
up,
trying.
Right?
You have to keep trying. And you take risks, right? You may die in the open sea. You might go to jail. I went to jail, and I still not giving up. I still trying after that many more times.
So did you know people back then who were also trying to escape, who didn't make it, and maybe they stopped trying just because it was too much effort, or they just didn't want to do it?
Yeah, a lot of risk though. I mean, even my dad, he ran into pirate, and it's crazy.
Wow. I'm sure he's told you a lot of stories about that time.
Yep.
But it kind of makes you, probably that experience, I would have to imagine, makes you really appreciate the life that you built. And I think for a lot of people, what I want people to be reminded of is that there's a lot of people out there that who have gone through a lot of very difficult experiences to get to where they are today, especially successful people. Success isn't easy for most people.
exactly.
Nothing comes easy. Now, of course, if you watch YouTube, if you watch, right, if you watch
Yep,
Instagram,
yep,
if you're on social media all the time, it looks like everyone is successful. Or for those who are really successful, they kind of make it look easy. But one of the things that we often don't know is like, what is all the difficult things that people actually went through to get there? And so clearly for you, this was the beginning, right? As a small child, and you were already had a very tough life. You could have easily just given up. You could have eventually come to America and just said, you know what? I'm just going to be lazy. I'm just going to try to live from the system. I'm just going to try to go into crime. I'm going to take maybe the easy road and not try to make a big effort of my life. But that is not what you chose. You didn't do that. You did the complete opposite. You kind of, you came to America as a young person. I think
No,
by
I
the
came
time
here when I was
you were
20.
20, you were 20,
Yeah.
right? So you
Yes.
finally got here when you were 20. So you were still young. You were a young person, right?
But I didn't speak English back then, so I have
No
to
English.
learn. I have to learn the new language. It's very difficult to learn a new
Wow.
language. Yeah.
So you were learning a new language. I remember you were working multiple jobs at that time. What are some of the things that you did? What are some of the jobs that you had?
Assembly line, making $4.25 an hour. Yeah, and I
Wow.
love working because I need the money. So I work hard, I study hard. That is, you know, if I didn't go to school, then now I'm still working in the assembly line, right? My life was never changed. So that's why, even though we need to make money, but at the same time, I know how important it is to get educated and to earn a high level education so that I can change my life. So study and work at the same time. It's crazy. It's a lot of work.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
So you were 20 years old. You were working at assembly line, 4.25 an hour was the minimum wage, I think,
Yes.
back then.
Yes. Yes.
Which,
Yes.
you know, people today are looking for $20 an hour. 4.25 is what we were making back then. And you decided to go to school and you went to college, right?
Yes. Yes.
And was it UC Berkeley that you went to back then?
I studied hard. I got good grade. I went to the best university. Yeah, I did all of that. I graduated with highest honor.
So
Yeah, everything I did as well. Yeah.
But you could have decided to not. You could have just said, you know what? I'm not going to go to college. I'm just going to work on the assembly line. I'll collect my paycheck every 2 weeks. You know, maybe I'll leave this company and go to another assembly line. Maybe I'll get $4.50 per hour.
Yep.
You know, maybe I'll continue. But what motivated you? What was inside of you that said, this is not enough for me? There was something inside.
This is the land of opportunity, right? There's so much opportunity to have better future. And it's not only for me, but for my future, for my family, my kids as well, right? So I would change my life and my children's life if I can get better education, higher education. I can not only that, like I realize that it's really meaningful to help other people. So it's more initially, of course, it's about you, but I think it's better if whatever you do is helping other people. Then you find the meaning in your life, and you can achieve a lot more.
Again, I've mentioned this a couple of times already, and I'll keep saying it. The fact that you didn't give up when most people would is definitely a testament to your grit and perseverance. And for those of you who are listening today, it's important for you to know that with grit, determination, perseverance, with a focus on becoming educated, right? With those attributes, you can be really successful. So I know, so Thuan went to school, he graduated, and was lucky enough to get a job working for Morgan Stanley. What is some of the work that you were doing at Morgan Stanley earlier in your 20s?
Data analyst, working with the computer. It turned out to be a boring job. 9 to 5. You have to. It's not interesting at all. It's a corporate job, and I didn't like it that much. I mean, I want to grow. I want to learn. And if I got stuck at a place that I see no future, I'd rather move on. So I quit the job. I quit. I stayed home for almost a year. Yeah, I'd rather stay home and plan for the future than work at a company that have give me no future.
So then we transitioned to mortgages because you were working as a data analyst. By the way, no experience with mortgages, like
Correct.
zero
And
experience with mortgages. I don't,
exactly.
I don't even think you had a mortgage of your own at that time.
And nobody even when I get into mortgage, I never join any company. I never receive formal training. I never have any mentor to help me with the mortgage. I learn everything by myself.
So how did you do that?
You learn, basic learn. So I think the first loan that I did is for my own house. I buy a house.
Okay.
I bought the house. So I need the mortgage. So I did it myself. And I just basically all I did is call in the AE, the account executive, and ask them how do I submit a loan? What is the next step? I ask all the kind of questions, and the AE, that they are motivated. They want to help you. So and the first lesson is for a loan officer out there. If you don't have a question, ask your AE. They will help you. They will answer your question.
So you went into what attracted you to the mortgage industry? Because there was a decision that you made where you left Morgan Stanley. You were essentially out of work for a year.
I always loved business. I always loved to be on my own. Having my own business. And the few years before that, when I bought my first home, a loan officer helped me, and it was a very short and quick process, and she makes good money. So I see that my previous loan officer make good income. So I say, yeah, maybe I can be a loan officer. So that's why I started this business as a loan officer, as a broker. Yeah.
I had a similar story because when I graduated college and then I had a job similar to you. I wasn't a data analyst, but I worked in the IT field, and I met someone who was a loan officer, and they were making like really good money, really, really good money. And I know, similar to you, I have a very high work ethic. It's going to be hard for you to tell me no. I'm going to push and persevere until I get to success, similar to you. And so I kind of asked that person to at least like take my resume and like give it to the person responsible and just tell that person, this guy, Michael, he works really hard. He's smart. He will do a great job for you. And a few months later, got a job as a loan officer and, worked very, very hard to become very successful. But that was almost 30 years ago, right? Sounds like you had a very similar experience. How long were you a loan officer before you decided to start Loan Factory?
Actually, I skipped all of that. I started Loan Factory by myself without any experience. So I just study and get my broker license and open the business without no one helping me. I just started.
Okay, so just for a moment here, let's recap, Thuan.
Yeah.
You started Loan Factory on your own, by yourself, no partners, limited to no experience in mortgage. And for everyone listening, Loan Factory is one of the biggest mortgage technology and brokerages companies in the United States, probably in the world. Okay.
Yep. And
right now,
we are even better than that. We are transitioning to be a fintech company. We build a marketplace to help loan officer and help consumer. So we completely changed as well. We are moving forward very fast. Yeah.
Very fast. I'm going to talk about the software Moso that you've developed about that. But the point that I really want everyone to kind of set in for a moment is that you built this company with very little experience, right? With very little help. And you did it mostly on your own. So the idea of starting Loan Factory, like how did that become? Because there's a lot of people who are loan officers in the United States, like there's tens of thousands of loan officers, and most of them aren't developing fintech companies. So what made you decide that, maybe I can build something to help borrowers get a better experience by using mortgage brokers? Like, how did you put that together? Seems like that would be impossible.
Initially, of course, when I start the business, I just want to make a living, just like everyone else, right? We need income, we need money to help our family, we need to live. So initially, my goal was just to help myself. But when I do the work, I learn I realized that my customer appreciate me so much. I help them get a house, or I help them refinance and save a lot of money, and they
Yeah.
appreciate me so much. And that is the biggest drive that helped me pushing forward so that I can be better and better so that I can help more customers. So the motivation of helping more people pushed me to scale up the company and turn it to be a much bigger company. But even during the pandemic, I myself helped 11,600 clients
Wow.
in the 2 years. But after the pandemic, I learned one thing is no matter how good I am, I cannot help more clients. That is pretty much the maximum number of clients that I can help. So in order to help more clients, I open up the company. I work with thousands of loan officers so that I can support the loan officers so that they can turn around and help other clients. So now we close like 700 loans a month. So we help 700 clients a month right now. So a year is more than 8,000 clients, and
Right.
we aim to 10 times this number. So the goal is to help millions of consumers out there because I know that they all need help. They are struggling because even loan officers are struggling right now. So
Yes.
with the knowledge, with the technology, with the system, with the right process, we can help each other. I can help loan officers so that they can turn around and help their clients. So that is the biggest motivation I have right now.
And that's very inspirational. That what you just mentioned ties tightly into the mission at Lone Spark, because one of the reasons why I started the company is because I want to help brokers and business owners get the right lending products and get it the right way. And at the end of their process, feel good about the loan that they've gotten.
Yeah, very similar. We building platform so that loan officer can turn around and help their client. They can tap on our resources and knowledge, technology, everything that we build for them. Loan officer, it is extremely difficult for them to do all of this. So we can build everything and turn around and help them so that they can help their client. That is our business model, and it turned out it's working really well. The loan officer appreciate it, the client appreciate it.
So I'd like to talk a little bit more specifically about Loan Factory and some of the success that you've had, because
Yes,
I think it's really important to, again, to highlight the entire story with the success. Founders, we always want more. We always
exactly.
want to help more people. We always want to, in the lending business, do more loans. We always want more, 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 more. And a lot of times as founders, we don't always stop and give ourselves a little bit of credit. Okay. Because there's always days where you feel like, man, I could have done so much better today. And then there's days where you feel good, like, yes, I did a great job today. Right.
Yep,
And not a lot of people know what that feels like, because mostly founders is a very lonely position. You want to help
very.
a lot of people, but you don't always feel like you're winning every day as a founder.
Yep,
Okay.
yep, yep.
But I want to talk a little bit about the successes that you've had at Loan Factory and some of the ways that you've been able to remain successful. For example, you got through the pandemic recently. You guys were able to persevere through the pandemic.
Yes,
Earlier in your career at Loan Factory, we had the financial crisis. You were able to get through the financial crisis, right? And then the pandemic, okay? Which are very tough times for you as a founder, you as a loan officer, and other loan officers. So I think my important question for you here is, what are some of the messages that you've told yourself and your team when things maybe they looked like they weren't going to work out, like things look bad? Okay. Like, what do you tell yourself every day? And what do you tell your team, right? To kind of help keep you going
yeah, yeah,
every
yeah.
day.
It's easy, right? I mean, especially in mortgage industry, there's always good time and bad time. The rate gonna go up and go down like this. So when rate go up, it's a bad time. We don't have many clients, but we during that slow time, we need to focus on ourselves. We need to focus on our improving our knowledge, our skill, our system, our process, so that when market turn around, you are ready for to help your clients. You are better. You always improve. So if you are a good loan officer, you're always going to be successful. A client's going to come to you for sure because you are a good loan officer. Like good attorney or good doctor, they're always busy. They're always busy. And there's high demand. Same thing with loan officer. If you just focus being a better loan officer, people will come to you and you're going to be successful no matter what. So it's all about you, not about the market, not about your clients. It's about you. If you just focus on being better and better, you're going to be successful.
I'm glad you mentioned that. As a conversation that I had yesterday with one of our newer employees during the training and coaching session. One of the things that I mentioned, so I want to spend a little bit of time on this, is customers, borrowers, they're buying from you. They're not buying the brand usually. They're buying the relationship with you. How do you make them feel? What kind of, are you giving, do they feel good about you? Do they trust you? Are you being responsive to their needs? Yep. Does that client feel like you will take good care of them? Okay. How are you communicating with that client?
Yes.
The client buys from the salesperson or the consultant, not the company. So it's how is the loan officer creating that experience for the customer so the customer is always feeling good about the loan officer. So that's what we discussed yesterday in one of our sessions. And you just mentioned it again. Yeah. So I think a lot of times people forget about that. They forget about the reason why the customer is here. It is not just because of your rates. Okay. Everybody has rates. Everybody has product. Okay.
All right. We all broker. We shop around for our client. We work with similar lender, but it's about you. What kind of service you provide, how good you are, how knowledgeable you are, how helpful you are, how transparent you are. It's all about you.
Exactly. So I think there's a lot of moments, and there's thousands of loan officers that work under the Loan Factory brand. And I'm unsure how many you get to interact with, but I'm sure that there are a lot of loan officers who just sometimes feel like they just can't do it. So what is your advice to loan officers who may be struggling?
My advice is really simple. You have to work hard in any industry, any kind of job. If you don't work hard, you will fail. You will be out. But if you work hard, then you're going to be successful. I learned that. I talked to so many loan officers, and I see that too. Almost all loan officers who are successful, they work at least 8 hours a day. And all of those that failing, they don't work hard at all. So that is a really simple rule. If you want to be successful, work hard. And it's common sense though, because even if you work for McDonald's or Starbucks, you still have to work hard. You still have to work 8 hours a day. So why not? If you work for other people and you work hard like that, then if you work for yourself, you better work harder than that.
Absolutely.
So the rule of thumb is really simple. And I even challenge everyone out there. If you work 8 hours a day and after 3 months you don't see your business pick up, you let me know. I will tell you what you did wrong and I will help you grow your business. So the formula is really simple. Focus on working 8 hours a day. Write out exactly what will you do in those 8 hours. If you work hard and you discipline, you will see the result. It's really simple, really simple. I mean, so many loan officers right now, they don't even do social media. They don't collect review from their clients. They don't have a good tool to compete. They don't even shop around for their clients. They make huge mistakes, and those are the reasons they are failing, and they should not complain at all. So many people complain right now and blame the market, and I think they are wrong. They should blame themselves.
I tend to agree with you. And when you look at the loan officer business, I think one of the things that loan officers have to realize that you're a founder of your own business. As a
Exactly.
loan officer, you are operating a business, and to be successful in business, you must have a plan. So the
Exactly.
plan would have to be, what are the services that you offer? How are you going to market those services? How are you going to let the world know that you exist? And also create what's called social proof, like you just mentioned, collecting the reviews, because people who are buying products and services, we like to buy things that other people have bought and said are good, right?
Yes.
So
Yes.
the referrals and reviews are very important. And then your service, you must have a good plan to deliver your service, which is have good products, have a good workflow, have good systems, okay? Have
Yes.
good pricing, okay? And when you put all that to the side, then it's what is your customer relationship management? What is your
Exactly.
strategy? How are you
Exactly.
managing your customers? How are
Yes.
you following up with them? How are you communicating with them? What is the
Yes.
information that you're providing to them? How
Yeah.
quickly are you communicating with them? All of those things are a part of managing a business.
Yeah. And any one of us, any loan officer, you know that you run a business and you need to follow all of those standards of any business. If you want to do better, you have to do all of that.
That's right. So for any loan officer who's out there right now, who maybe is struggling, maybe you're not at the level of success that you'd like to get to, maybe do you feel like the market is hindering you or it's preventing your business from succeeding? It's really important to kind of take a look inward and try to look at what you're doing to operate your business effectively, right?
Yes.
And you have to kind of assess that. It's important for you to talk to someone else who is doing it successfully. Because the industry is generally an industry of where people are willing to help each other. There's so much business, right? So much business to do. And it's important to find someone, even if it's not in mortgage, find someone who you know that's operating a business and maybe talk to them for 30 minutes to figure out how did they get things set up? What are they doing in terms of their plan, their marketing strategy, their customer relationship management? How are they pricing their products, right? Product diversity, those types of things. And then start to kind of build a plan and manage that plan every single day. And if you work for Loan Factory, as Thuan just said, if you're doing all these things and you're working hard and you're actually working 8 hours a day, there's a difference between coming to work and actually working for 8 hours a day, right?
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
If you're doing all that and you're still not successful, then we can have a conversation.
Exactly.
And for any loan officer who is working with LoanSpark and is signed up with us and has a broker agreement with us, I would offer the same. If you're putting that amount of effort into your business and it's not working, feel free to contact me.
So whenever
Mm-hmm.
someone reach out to me and say, "Oh, it doesn't work. How come I don't have a client? How come I'm not successful?" Then the first question is, what are you doing right now? Are you working hard? Are you working 8 hours a day? Because if you don't work hard, don't expect that you're going to win. You're going to have clients, right? If you are lazy, you work only 1 hour a day or even less than that, how can you have clients? I just don't understand. It's simple. And nothing easy. You know that. Winning a client is so difficult. Helping the client close a loan is so difficult. So you have to work hard.
Absolutely. Well, Thuan, it was amazing to have you on the podcast today to share your story. I learned a lot about you and I am now motivated to go work even harder. Okay. Just knowing the story and how much effort you have put not only into your life, but that you've put into your business. If you are a loan officer who is working under Loan Factory, consider yourself lucky. And if you're a loan officer who wants to work hard and is looking for success and is ready to put in maximum effort into your business, you should definitely be looking at Loan Factory as a company that you want to partner with.
And I love to talk to any loan officer who are struggling, who need help. I would love to advise them what they need to do.
Absolutely. So again, it was awesome having you on today, Thuan. Thank you so much. I believe all of our listeners are going to be really excited about our session today.
Thank you, Michael, and thank you everyone for listening. I love to share what I'm doing. I love to share the secret, but the secret is really simple. Just work hard, and thank you for listening to this podcast. Thank you, Michael.
And for loan officers who are looking for something new and looking for Loan Factory, can they get there at loanfactory.com? Is that how they would find you?
Yeah, go to loanfactory.com, all information there, and they can reach out to me as well. Thank you.